Good morning. I'd like to call the committee to hold for protection of person and property to order. Delegations of pecuniary interest. Seeing none. Delegations and presentations, we have none. Item 4 is the fire chief's monthly report. Any questions or comments? Brenda? Oh, sorry.
Not a question, it's just a comment that it was a little concerning that a campfire had been left going. And is this the one that's people put out up this way, or is this a different one?
It says industrial park.
Okay, yes, right. So there was one up here as well, wasn't there, that some people had put out at Tea Lake as well? So it's concerning that, people are not putting out their campfires.
Especially with the heat in the winter.
Exactly.
Good comment. Nothing else, I'll move on to the building department. Building inspector's report for the month of May. Gord is here if you have any questions or comments. Seeing none. Move on to his mileage report. It's for information. Oh, Amir Remo.
Thank you, Chair. Gord, I was just wondering, I see there was some work on the ICF foundations. Are you finding that to be that's going on the increase? You're seeing a lot more ICF foundations than you have in the past, or it's becoming the norm now over blocks or poured?
Well, it's becoming more of the norm. What I am seeing now is rather than just doing the basements, they're going right to the eave with it now instead. They're doing the first floor as well.
Oh, okay.
It's actually more cost effective than building conventional lumber frame now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Giardini.
So Gord, you did a air pressure test on DWV.
Drain, waste, and vent.
Drain, waste, and vents. Okay, I knew. Thank you.
No more questions. Move on to emergency preparedness. I imagine it's quite quiet.
Sorry,
Emergency preparedness? Nothing yet?
No meetings today. There has been a little bit of discussion on that, but there's been no meeting set up to meet.
Well, we have the mayor. We'll do the police board.
Actually, I have nothing new to report on that. Other than, item A, which the correspondence from the OPP regarding the decommissioning of the communications center in Smith Falls. That's all I have.
Any questions on that? Okay. Other business? I have none. Closed session? None. Adjournment at 10:04.
I'll call to order the Committee of Whole of Planning. Declaration of pecuniary interest, there's none. Delegations and presentations, there's nothing. New business, we have a site plan agreement for James and Ellen Peggott. If Gord wants to speak on this, please.
Okay, these people have purchased a lot on the Ottawa River. It's at the end of Colton. It's actually the last lot on Colton Creek Road. It's on a private road. And anyway, they're hoping to build this year. They submitted a site plan for a site plan agreement, and everything is totally in order. It meets the requirements of the official plan and our zoning bylaws. And as a requirement, because it's on waterfront, they have to have a site plan agreement. So their site plan has met all required setbacks and meets all the requirements of the zoning bylaw. And my recommendation is that we go ahead and approve it. It's on an existing road. There's 2 other residences already on that road, and that's all. That whole road is private road. That part of it. So.
Okay, perfect. Any questions or no? All right. Item B is another site plan agreement for Colleen Labrie.
Actually, Sorry,
Yep.
Chair, but that one I'm going to ask if we could defer it to July 21st. There's some other information that came forward that I wasn't aware of when I prepared this report.
Okay.
So I've spoken to the owner, and they're quite comfortable with deferring until July. So if you would do that, that would be appreciated.
Yep, no problem. Keep moving on. Economic development, councillor member update. There hasn't been nothing for economic development that I know of. Okay, correspondence from Craig Kelly, Director of Development and Property regarding cannabis study. I think that's already, the date on there is already passed, but does anybody have any questions or concerns about that? Deputy Mayor.
So in the resolution from county, it says that they are going to investigate, I believe, any applications or interest that's been expressed already on any cannabis operations in the county. Have I read that right? Are you aware of that?
Through you, Chair. Right now, the development and property group have been dealing with a lot of different applications throughout the county, and basically, from my viewpoint, they're becoming the subject matter experts on these, and I think it would be only fair if anything was to come our way, then it would definitely be worthwhile.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Councillor Blimke.
If I'm reading it correctly, I think it's for not retail, but actual production sites, right? Yes.
use of the land.
That's right, for zoning and making sure that the land is appropriate for that type of production. So it'll be growth and that kind of thing, right?
Mayor Reinhold.
Thank you, through you, Chair. There has been several locations now within the county of Renfrew, down being around Whitewater areas, others up by Madawaska. So they're probably the best people that we can get in order to, and this is all growing, different types of growing. And so they're probably the best group of people that we have to help support us on anything like that.
That's what the money's there for.
All right. Late correspondence, there's nothing for a closed session, so I'll adjourn at 10:09.
I'll call to order this committee of the whole for Public Works. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Delegations and presentations? None. Roads, we have our Public Works Superintendent's report for May 2021 and the proposed work schedule for the month of June 2021. Any comments or questions that can be forwarded to him? Councillor Blimke?
So I have nothing on his report, but I do have, I've had some correspondence and phone calls on the residential area of the Forestry Road, and wondering about the runoff that happened in the spring from that road since it's been paved. I know the paving, was an awesome job. The road is amazing, but because of it being raised a little bit, the runoff has become greater going into some people's roads. And I was just wondering if perhaps Public Works could take a look at that and, make an assessment of it and come up with some type of feedback for council as to what we could do about that, or if anything at all. I appreciate it. There was also a comment made that, as we know, speeding is quite a thing on Forster Road, as it is in a lot of our roads. We put the three-way up at the entrance into Chalk River, which has worked out really well. But it was asked and maybe thought that perhaps because there's a lot of people go on the Forestry Road bicycling, walking, rollerblading, and a lot of children, that perhaps we could put some signs up saying watch for children or watch for bicyclers or something like that. And it's good for us as a liability, but it's also good to maybe get that message across to the people that are actually speeding on the road. And if you could also reiterate to the OPP that speeding there is quite extensive.
Okay. Can you pass that along there?
Yes, I can. When things like this arise, just shoot me off an email, if you don't mind, and I'll make sure that that gets forwarded to the OPP. And also, the folks also have the opportunity to make that call also. The people who are making the complaints, there's that 188 number that they can make a call and have that looked into. I hadn't heard about much of that this year. I was expecting to hear a lot, especially from the Plant Road, and I've heard nothing whatsoever. So I think overall people are doing a better job in keeping to the speed limits because of I have not heard hardly anything. So I'm glad to hear that there are some, not glad to hear that,
but there are
but it's
some
good to hear that
situations.
there is, we still have a problem, and I'll make sure that that gets through.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we did send some information to the detachment commander this number of months ago, and it was with regards to certain times of the evening, late in the evening, when there was some drag racing going on and whatnot. So, and that I think got stopped.
Yes, I do agree. The OPP have been very, very responsive to our, interest in them coming and making extra, runarounds type of thing to make sure people aren't speeding and whatever. But as we said in the past, as things get better, then that kind of starts to lack off, and it doesn't hurt to, have a reminder to them.
The other, through you, Deputy Mayor, the other thing is you can't predict when the things are going to happen. And so when it does happen and you call the OPP, they come here and everything is all taken care of. But I do like the idea of some of the signage. I think that's a pretty good idea because you can get slightly off your speed limit. It's only, 40 kilometers an hour down through there. And it's a pretty nice stretch of highway. So
it's just a reminder to people. I think some people get distracted and they're driving, they're thinking, and they're just going, they see the sign. It's a reminder, which also brings to mind, where are we at with the speed sign? Is that ordered?
Everything else, it's slowed down.
Yeah.
Everything's been ordered, it's just slowed
Yes.
down.
Because that might also help at some point on the Forestry Road and other roads as well when it comes in. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, good. Any other comments on Scott's report? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mayor?
thank you. I just want to follow up on discussion that we had, Sherry, the students are going to be starting to clean up some of the ditching in the,
And that's in his report under brushing and road edges.
okay, it wasn't real clear to me.
Will be, over the
Okay.
next couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Councillor Hoyle?
Just on the ditches and stuff, I did notice already that like down at our end, they have started to all be cut now. So just FYI, they have been working on them.
Good. Mayor?
I'd just like to ask Councillor Hoyle why he gets extra priority.
Never seen him later.
I don't think so. Okay, that's it? Oh, Councillor,
I see in June they're going to be doing brushing. Did they get the new brusher yet? Or is that on back order too? Back order, yeah. Okay.
so many things on back order, right? My goodness, yeah, yeah.
Fire truck will be next year.
Wow. Yeah, it's a good thing we're not waiting for wood. Mayor Reinwald?
Just speaking on the back order thing, this whole country, I think, has fallen apart with regards to back order. All the contractors having difficult time getting orders in. There being anything coming from across the pond is absolutely almost impossible to get things in a timely manner. And the costs are just going up exponentially.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to streetlights. There's nothing to report on streetlights. Water and sewer. We had our 2 yearly reports at our last month's meeting. I don't believe there's nothing to update there. No. Okay. Okay. Waste sites. Our most recent coordinator has resigned. We are hoping to have a special meeting soon to discuss moving forward. The reuse section at the Bags Road has been reopened. Yeah. I believe that's it. There are, in the meantime, our staff will take over the billings or anything that has to be paid. They will make sure that nothing is left undone. And there were two outstanding issues with the well, and that is not until the fall anyways. And the carpet recycling, which will be looked into as soon as we receive back some equipment. Okay.
Quick question. So that includes the pickup on Fridays at the landfill?
What do you mean that?
Like the money, I think it is, that gets picked up and the,
We'll work that out.
Yes,
with,
okay.
Yeah. So. Okay, so there's correspondence from JP2G regarding the landfill closure costs. Any questions on that? We're still at 22 years based on Councillor Blinken.
yeah, I'm actually quite happy about that. You know, it seems to have, it's holding its own. You know, we were a little worried about it, you know, over the last decade, you know, about it, you know, filling up too quickly. So obviously, you know, recycling and reuse and stuff is working. And even during this past year, I mean, you know, because a lot of people were taking stuff to the landfill and whatever. So I'm really pleasantly surprised that this is at the 22-year mark is still.
Yes, it's quite good. Even like driving here is our recycling day, and it's nice to see that almost every driveway had 1, 2, and sometimes 3 bins full. So, you know, we encourage residents to continue recycling as much as possible, and hopefully new programs will come into place where, you know, we can deal with plastics and styrofoam and all that. Mayor, Council, Mayor.
Thank you, Chair. And I just want to echo that. I know a few years back when we started to get the program in place, there was sort of some people were very much in favor of it and some were very much against. And when you take a look at this information, and it has extended our lifetime of our site, you know, we can only pat each other on the back on that, because it was well worth every minute of it. Thank you.
Councillor Blinken.
So I just might ask real quickly, when we first started going with the new recycling company to pick up our recycling and process it, there was a lot of changes into what we could put into yellow and blue box, and it took a while for residents to get accustomed to that. And we were getting a lot of contaminated boxes, and, you know, the recycling manufacturer, the recycling people had a hard time with that. Has that changed? Has that gotten a lot better now, Sherry?
We have not received a report that there's been any contamination of concern from Ottawa Valley Waste Recovery Center since this.
Oh, well, that's really good news. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's a really good
so
question.
the residents are working hard at doing the recycling.
Yeah, Mayor Weinwald.
Thank you, Chair. As a matter of fact, I was talking to one of the members of the Ottawa Valley Recycling. They said we do an extraordinary job. Our people who do the waste pickup for us, they say they do a phenomenal job, and very seldom do we ever get any extra costs as a result of that. So our contractors are doing a very, very good job. It's nice to hear.
That's good news.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Airport.
I don't really have. Sorry, To Chair, I really don't have anything to report other than there will be a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. and it's our quarterly report, and we'll be discussing our budgets and operations and things like that. So I'll be able to give you more info at our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. I have no other business. I have nothing for a closed session. I will adjourn at 10:20. Oh, I'm sorry, Councillor Boucher.
I don't know if I bring this up here for other business, but even with COVID, I get a lot of questions about our boat launch. So I'd just like to know what I can answer them, what's happening with it, or is it just stalemate, or? I probably got 40 questions and I haven't been outside early.
I don't have an update for you.
So what do I tell them?
We're still working on that issue, but that location that was identified was
Okay.
put to rest.
Yes, when I say they're working on it, I don't get good responses.
So,
You know what I'm saying? Yep,
we have to identify a new spot.
Okay,
but we're not looking at one, are we?
okay, Mayor Reinwald, do you have something to add to that?
We are definitely looking at 4 different options, and
Oh, good.
pardon me?
4?
No.
Oh,
Looking
FOR,
for them.
not
F4,
FOUR.
sorry. Okay.
But we're definitely looking at different options, and there's nothing that's, concrete yet, so there's really nothing that we can discuss at this point in time, but we certainly are looking. I'm very, very much in favor of this and very supportive of it, and I'm hoping that something will come up in the near future.
Councillor Blimke, did you have something? No?
Well, I will add that I do also get a lot of people asking me about the boat launch. This is something that's been in the works for all of the terms I've been in council, but also at least 15 years prior to that. So I also have a hard time answering because, we don't know, what's happening as well. So it's hard to answer that. And I know people are very frustrated with us as council members not being able to give an answer. So, at some point we should be able to have something come up that we can at least answer our constituents in a way that gives them a path forward.
Do you want, yeah?
One last one. And I agree with you 100%. We've been trying and we're doing one last try, and if it doesn't work out for us, we just don't have the location, and we're hoping that somebody will help and partner with us, so we might be able to move forward on this. But if not, then it's dead in the water, because there's only so many places along the Ottawa River. Most of it is privately owned, and so the options are very, very slim.
Okay, thank you. So I have nothing for a closed session. I will adjourn at 10:24.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole for Finance and Personnel. Declaration of pecuniary interest, being none. Delegations and presentations, none. Administration, none. Financial, if you look at the report, it looks like we're pretty much on target. We're about 45% spent and about halfway through the year. Anybody have any comments or questions on it? Okay, training, none. Other business, none. Closed session, none. And adjournment at 10:24. Yes, could we take 5 minutes, please, before we move on to the council? Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'd like to call to order the Corporation of the Town of Laurentian Hills regular meeting of council. Is there declaration of pecuniary interest? Be none. Delegations and presentations, none today. Adoption of minutes. So moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved the minutes of the meeting of the regular meeting of council 19th of May 2021 be adopted as circulated. Any discussions on that? All in favor? And carried. Next items are the standing committee reports. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Committee of the Whole for the Protection of Persons and Property 19th of May 2021 be adopted as circulated. Any discussions? All in favor? And carried. Next item, moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Committee of the Whole for Planning of 19th of May 2021 be adopted as circulated. Discussions? All in favor? And carried. Moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved the minutes of the meeting of the Committee of the Whole for Public Works of 19th of May 2021 be adopted as circulated. Discussions? All in favor? And carried. Moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Committee of the Whole for Finance and Personnel of 19th of May 2021 be adopted as circulated. Discussions? All in favor? And carried. Next item, business arising out of previous minutes, be none. Other reports, none. And mayor's update. So for the month of June, I have attended very few meetings. First meeting held was yesterday, June 15th, with the Development Property Committee. And one of the items that was discussed there was a bylaw for the proper timing for lowering of the flags. So I've forwarded that information forward to Sherry, and maybe we can take a look at it and see if it's we already have a bylaw in place for that, but we might want to take a look at it and see if there's anything that we can learn from it, or maybe we just file. So then for the remainder of the month, this afternoon, I have a meeting with the Community Services Committee meeting at the county, starting at 1. On the morning of the 17th, I meet with the Deep River District Hospital, and the mayor's reviewing the COVID update. And on the 17th, also in the afternoon, I have a meeting with the Pembroke Area Airport, and we'll be having our quarterly meeting at that time. And then on the 30th will be our county council meeting. And that's all I have to report, I think. And you have something to report. You attended some meetings on my behalf.
I did. So I attended on May 20th and June 3rd, the Renfrew County District Health Unit meetings with Dr. Cushman and all the mayors in the county. And we continued to discuss, or he reports on how the vaccination clinics are going and ways in which the public can continue staying safe. There's another one tomorrow, so if there are any questions or issues people would like to bring up, send them to me, or you see you've got your hand up.
I've had several people stop me, residents from the village, saying that they were registered for the clinic, but they in turn got in at a pharmacy prior, They've called and left several messages to cancel, and they've never received back. And then the day of the vaccine clinics, they're called saying, why aren't you here for your appointment? When they've left a voicemail like a couple weeks prior. And they're upset just for the fact that somebody else could be using that vaccine on the day that they called to cancel. So I just thought maybe that might be something to bring up, that there are people canceling, they're just not showing up, but they're being treated as if they just didn't show up when they did try to cancel.
So they realize that that was an issue, and it'll be interesting to see if they've been able to rectify that problem with canceling. So there have been a lot of public service announcements concerning canceling your second vaccine appointment if you have received it somewhere else. So hopefully that clarifies things, but I will definitely make sure that that is addressed tomorrow.
No, perfect, thank you.
Thank you. No, that's good. So I also met with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs, read the Code of Conduct for municipalities, and that was mostly a session, a lot of information from the Mayor of Ottawa on their issues with the Code of Conduct. So there is a questionnaire that everybody is welcome to fill in, and it is online. And if you want, we've all received the links over the last month or so to fill in on that. And it looks like what's coming out of that is that most municipalities are requesting more education sessions and more information for councillors and for CAOs on how to deal with all this, and for the integrity commissioners themselves, so that there's a more level playing field on how things are assessed, and penalties, if needed, are given out. So that was that.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne. Any questions? Sherry?
Just wanted to give council a heads up that we've finalized the details for the pipeline to be put up on Friday.
Yes.
Anybody wants to attend?
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't mention that in my report. Yes, it'll be 11 a.m. on Friday. If anyone wishes to attend, I'd be happy to have you here. Okay, thank you. Okay, bylaws. First one, moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be hereby resolved that bylaw number 1521 being a bylaw to authorize a site plan control agreement between the corporation and the town of Laurentian Hills and James and Ellen Piggott do now be read a first, second, third time, and passed. Any discussions on that? All in favor? And carried. And the next one is bylaw number 1621, agreement with Colleen Labrie is to be should be deferred until, was it September?
July.
Until July, so that'll be deferred, okay? Thought I was gonna wait on that one, eh? Next item, approval of accounts. Moved by, a resolution to acknowledge comparison to budget as of June 9th, 2021. There's no resolution for that. Pardon me?
That's the approval of the bill.
Yeah, so there's nothing here though.
It should be.
Sorry. Back up. I flipped 2 pages. Moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved that the council does acknowledge the receipt of the unaudited statement of revenues and expenses as compared to budget as of June 9th, 2021. Any discussions? All in favor? And carried. You people are sharp today. I am not. Okay. Next item, petitions, being none. Correspondence, none. Action items. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Brenda Blimke, be it hereby resolved that the resolution for Perth County recommending that federal government support domestic production of a COVID-19 vaccine be filed or endorsed. Any discussions on that?
I'm in favor of endorsing as well.
Okay, so we have a vote. Endorse, all in favor? Carried. Next item moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Brenda Blimke, that it hereby resolved that the resolution from the Corporation of the Township of Bonnechere Valley regarding amending Regulation 720 to expand the product offering that can be sold at farmers markets and allow manufacturers with on-site brewery retail stores to sell eligible beer at farmers markets, provided the full brewing process takes place at the production site in Ontario, be filed or endorsed. Discussions.
I'll endorse this. I think it's important for our small businesses.
I agree.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll have a vote. Just
The reason I'm in favor of endorsing it is because from what I'm reading, and I'm open to any discussion on that, it's kind of like specialty type breweries. It's not like, the big Molson or whatever like that. It's small business that are, home brewing and on a site that's licensed for it, but specialty beers. And that's what I'm envisioning. Can anybody correct me if I'm wrong on that?
I think that's what it was
John,
about.
is that what you're thinking? Yes.
Yeah, that's what it says. It's the microbreweries. So it's the little ones like Whitewater
Yes.
Brewery and stuff like that.
That's right.
Okay, so shall we take a vote to file or endorse?
Which one are you asking first?
Okay, we're going to file. One file, endorse. 1, 2, 3, endorse. Carried, it's endorsed. Next item, moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Brenda Blimke, be it hereby resolved the resolution from Fort Erie requesting the federal government to cease further consideration of eliminating capital gains tax exemptions on primary residence be filed or endorsed.
I'd like to endorse it. Definitely.
2 endorsed, 3 endorsed, 4 endorsed. Carried. Endorsed. So, next item moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke, be it hereby resolved the resolution from the Township of Archipelago regarding Bill 279, Environmental Protection Amendment Act, microplastics filters for washing machines be filed or endorsed. Discussions?
I definitely want to endorse this. It sounds like a pretty easy fix, and I think it's the way we have to go with pushing forward, putting things into our lakes and rivers and water systems for sure.
Okay. Ruth, anyone else? Okay, all in favor of endorsing? Carried. Moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke, be hereby resolved that the resolution from the Township of Archipelago regarding Bill 228 banning unencapsulated polystyrene foam be filed or endorsed. Discussions? Brenda?
So I think this falls in line exactly what Ann was saying. I think this is the way we're heading into the future to get rid of contaminants like this. So I would endorse.
Okay. Everyone in favor of endorsing?
Jed,
Sorry?
just a question. So they're going to ban this, but who's going to enforce this? Gord?
I think they just take it off the market, right?
Yeah, but people make homemade dogs. You can get there from anywhere, right? Just wondering who's going to enforce this stuff.
Would have to be the province because they're.
Yeah.
sort of well-
So if enough municipalities and we'll roll this way up to counties, and it'll work its way up. And if enough people are against this, they will certainly have. Yeah. So it'll have to come from the province.
I think M&RF too, when somebody applies to
Yeah.
get in a dog, shop would
Yeah. Okay, so all in favor of endorsing that? Carried. Okay. Next is information items. Moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be hereby resolved that all item of correspondence be filed. Any discussions? All in favor? And carried. Now, before we move on to unfinished business, I'd like to move into closed session. So I got a mover, Ann Giardini, seconded by Brenda Blimke. Be it hereby resolved, the next portion of this meeting be closed to the public pursuant to Section 239C of the Municipal Act C-25 SO 2001 as amended, as the subject matter being considered is a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. All in favor? And carried. Great. Thank you very much for taking a little break there, everybody. Now time to get back to work. So unfinished business, transfer former highway right-of-way. So I have a mover and a seconder, moved by John Hoyle, second by Brenda Blimke. Whereas the Ministry of Transportation, MTO, objected to a severance application that would create 2 additional lots in the United Townships of Head, Clare, Mariah, which if granted would have to travel over lands owned by MTO. And whereas the former Kings Highway was closed by orders in council, and the MTO is not prepared to support the severance application for travel over MTO easement lands. And where MTO would like to divest themselves and transfer to the town of Laurentian Hills part of the former right-of-way, informally known as Colton Creek Road, and legal described as part of Lot 54 range, geographic township of Rolfe, now in the town of Laurentian Hills, County of Renfrew, designated as Part 3 Ministry Plan R165054 P-2128-96, as closed by instrument number R165054, and all being of PIN 57046-0116 LT. Now therefore it be resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills accepts the transfer of land as described from the above MTO. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Sorry, defeated. I'm sorry. Defeated.
So you can reiterate that, it's defeated?
It has been defeated. Okay, next item. Under new business, Integrity Commissioners Summary Comparison Report for March 1st as of December 31st. Do you have nothing on that? It is what it is, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, Sherry.
When we get to the closed session, can you do your rising report as to why you went into closed session?
Do I have it here?
It's just rising report for the reason you went into.
Okay. Next item, closed session. I just want to rise and report with regards to proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Okay, thank you. Motions and notice of motions being none. Confirmatory bylaw. Moved by Ann Giardini, seconded by John Hoyle. Be it hereby resolved that the bylaw number 1721, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the town of Laurentian Hills, meeting of the council held on June 16th, 2021, do now be read a first, second, and third time and passed. All in favor? And carried. And next item is adjournment. Moved by Dan Giardini, seconded by John Hoyle. Be it hereby resolved this meeting of the council of the town of Laurentian Hills do now adjourn at 11:17 a.m. All in favor? And carried. And thank you very much.